Okay, Teresa, you're on.
Okay, welcome to our call. We are kicking off this new year talking about our wonderful Easter basket program that we have done for quite a few years now with lots of success. And one of our most successful leaders in doing the Easter basket project is Lisa Wu. And we've asked Lisa to share with us tonight how she puts her program in place that is so successful year after year. And she's kind of got it down to a system that works. And you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it. So we want her to share with us what she does kind of from start to finish, because now is the time to start planning for your Easter basket program this year. So Lisa, without further ado, I am going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Teresa. Can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm so glad you're listening to this call or on live. And like Mary said, if you have questions, please type them in and we will try to get to them all before the end of the call. I won't entertain questions as we go just because it'll throw me right off. Nothing else. So yes, this is the time. I was looking at the calendar. Easter is the April 19th weekend. And if you backtrack, you're going to have to put in orders by the end of March for to make sure your product's in time. So that just leaves February. It's almost there. So we are exactly where we need to be to start this. If you haven't done a single thing but thought this is an interesting idea, that is totally fine. And if you've done this in the past and need to get started, then this is the week and month to do it in. So in our DT Toolbox, in the part under DT University and Fundraising, you will find the documents that we have put for everybody to use. They are editable. I don't even know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean. There is yellow highlights, I believe, on all the documents where you can put your custom information, your personal information, your name, the charity that you've chosen to partner with, the dollar amount that you're asking for, and the number of baskets that your goal is. So if there's anything in there that you need a different version of, just let us know. It's all saved and we can change it. But the beauty of it is you don't have to do anything from scratch. It's all been done. It'll make this very seamless. And the first thing you have to do is start marking in your calendar when you're going to do everything. So I was also looking at the winter sale. It ends February 11th. And there are some amazing good prices on that winter sale of items that you should consider getting in bulk in time for your basket preparation. We're also going to be lucky enough to have 9 new Easter products be introduced to us, be available. And they will be available before the sale ends. So you can do both things at once, the new Easter things and winter sale items that you'd like to include in your order. Make the order as big as possible. Our goal always is 575 retail or more in a single order. That gives you the biggest discount as a consultant. So you can flip that discount into more product, or you can have it as your commission pay for the work you're doing. Okay, the second thing that you have to do after you've figured out your calendar and put your dates in is choose the charity that you're going to gift with these baskets or just straight toys. So once you call, we have a list there again in the back office of ideas. A lot of us do women's shelters, transition houses, where there's women with children in a homeless situation. And we know for sure that they don't have very much access to things. So it's pretty special to be recognized and thought of at that time when other kids are getting gifts. Foster care, adoption clinics, hospitals, especially pediatric units. You know, there's a lot of families that are spending every cent they can to get their child healthy. So possibly the last thing on their mind is getting things extra, and what a smile and a joy that brings when people know they're being cared about. So consider that. We have Ronald McDonald's houses all over North America. A few of my consultants raise toys for them. And a lot of times these places, that's what I said, when you make your initial call, I want you to go from the heart of who you're going to go with. just look in your city and see what speaks to you first. Give them a shout and let them know that you are considering doing a fundraiser in order to get really high quality, wonderful toys gifted to the children in their care. And generally they say absolutely yes. And that's when the next conversation happens, is you're going to find out from them, what does that look like for them? You don't want to do anything that's going to be a burden to them. So if they just want straight bundle of toys that they can disperse at their leisure to the families and the children that they service, go ahead and plan that as your goal. The shelter, the 3 shelters that I service in my town, they ask for baskets. So we will talk about what we actually give. So I made one so you can see. I'm a visual person, so it really helps me to have the idea right in front of you. And we'll go through all the things that I collect for the basket in a few minutes. But the centers that I deal with, they asked for that. They also have a general idea of the ages that they service, or they will have that general sense very soon. So I get in touch with the person that's in charge of that. They tell me there's so many, say 1 to 3s, so many 3 to 5s, and we break it. We don't have to break it down year by year by year, but in generalities, infants, toddlers, early years like elementary age, and later elementary age. And I usually say I tap out at around 11-year-old age. But last year there was a request for 11 to 13-year-olds that were in the center. And absolutely, being a mom of one of those not too long ago, they deserve a nice gift as well. And they don't care so much about the books. They want a Tuts tablet or a solitaire chess. I'm just looking at my toy shelf, a Jishaku, something really cool for that age where they can play alone or with friends. And that's the other consideration I also have, is thinking about the people who this is going to. We don't want to be insensitive to what their life situation might be. So maybe family games aren't going to go over well because, quite frankly, there's not enough people to play a 4-person game with. So I always consider that as well when I'm choosing what I'm going to give. A lot of places like the Teen Mom Centers and Social Services Office for homeless people in our town, they are just dying for some stuff that can be new and fresh and not secondhand. So again, they may just ask you for the toys alone or wrapped up. And I've seen, go on the videos that we have of the Easter baskets. There's some amazing videos of how people present their toys, different packaging, different ways. I always try to get a container like the one I showed you or something like this, because I want it to be useful after the fact. And I also get a discount at one of our stores. I get actually gift cards, pure 100% free gift cards that I can go shop there for those things. So I'm thinking, what would be good for the family to have after the stuff in the basket's all taken out? And that's why I usually go with a reusable container. But again, that's personal preference. I've seen some wonderful cloth bags and things too. So you've got your timeline, you've got your charity. Now you have to contact the people to get the money. So it is a fundraiser. We are getting cash predominantly to cover the cost of our items. And I always say, that's why I say it's at cost. I mean, I'm throwing in my commission and my labor free so that they're getting the biggest bang for their sponsored money. I use the word sponsor the baskets versus donations or donors. I think we've flipped all the wording in the paperwork to say that. It gets you away from the whole donation and charitable organization taxing issues that often come up when you're asking for a donation, especially if they're giving quantities. But if they're sponsoring something, it means they're just lending their help and their name to that cause or project. So it seems to work out much better, pardon me. If you have a contact or you get a local free paper, and on that paper there is contact us either by email, usually by email or phone, give them a shout, let them know what you're up to, that you're starting this project and you would love to have some exposure by them. You don't have a budget for advertising, so they would have to, again, sponsor some space. Local radios also do the same thing. They will, especially if you're going to be, if you pick, say, one weekend where you're going to be accepting people, don't sponsors, or having people help you build the baskets, and you want it to be advertised. But any local media that is willing to put your name and your project out there, absolutely get on it. That's fantastic, and invite them to either the wrapping session or the delivery day as well, because you should have had all that planned out already as well. Then we talked about the determining how much you're going to ask for each basket. Again, my goal I set out right at the beginning of how many baskets that is. That translates times 30. So I know exactly how much money I am going to hopefully get in the end. If I come short, that's okay, but my goal is out there. And just like with all Discovery Toys and your personal goals, when you say it out loud and you tell the universe, it's much more likely that you're going to have those results come in. So once I say my goal, and right now it's 150 baskets, I start printing off my sheets, and these again are in the back office, which has the space for the person, their address, the name of the person who you're in contact with if it's different than the initial person, and the amount that they donated. So I also have, I call it my garishly loud binder, or can you guys see how bright that is? I like going and finding these kind of things because in my life, I need something I can find fast, even if it's buried in a pile of papers. So I find a really flashy book. That's going to be my contact book for the Easter baskets, and that's all it's for. So every time I have an idea, or I call somebody and I get the name and emails of people who I need to talk to, if it's a yes, a no, a maybe, a callback, it's all going to be in this one place so I can find them after. And I also keep track of all my no's. Don't be scared if they say no, and the reason they say no, it may be a no because they've already decided this year where their community charities are going to go to. It may be that they need to ask somebody else and they'll get back to you. But more than not, I will keep it there. And then next year, if it's a no, we don't ever do that, I know I don't even have to think about that anymore. So it gets you right out of that whole thought process. So I've got my list, and now you're going to print off and customize the sheet that you're going to present to people. You could do this electronically. If you're talking to somebody over the phone, you ask if it's okay to send them the information sheet on your project by email, save you some ink. But I do print off quite a few in color. I think it looks much classier, and it's worth the $30 ink cartridge to have those on hand, because you never know where you are or who you're going to talk to. And if you have them ready in your purse, in your car, along with our catalog and your business cards, you just might meet the CEO of a big company at swim lessons, and they want to sponsor 50 of your baskets. You have no idea what opportunities are going to show up. So have those printed out ahead of time. And I also have receipts, and they're not official tax receipts. We don't have that designation, but they are a nice looking receipt, so that when somebody gives me a check or cash, I can immediately thank them with official looking piece of paper that says I have received your funds. It is going to my project and nothing else. With my personal home, like my home phone number, I put my address on there because I do advertise my home as my business too. But that's a personal preference. But I think that's even on the back office too. So like I said, you don't have to make anything up from scratch. Just look for it there. Okay, so now you're getting the people. Keep good records. I said that. And let's see my notes. I said, oh yes, don't forget your customers, your clients, your parents, all the other relatives. Make sure they all know you're doing this. If you communicate by Facebook and post it in your personal page and your business page, just send them messages, get on the phone, tell them, like I said, at ladies' night, at the school PAC meeting, tell everybody you're doing this project, because again, you never know who somebody else knows. They may feel that they would like to contribute, or they may know somebody who would be perfect to ask. So get it out there. I even put at the bottom of my email signature, which you can adjust in your email settings. I put my project, I put the Facebook page for our project, and I I have to check if I've updated it, but usually I say something like the 2019 campaign has begun. Message me back if you know somebody who can help out, and my goal is 150 baskets, something to that effect in the signature. So it doesn't matter if I'm replying to the carpet cleaning guy or the school principal, everybody sees that when they see my email. So it's out there all the time. I also, when I do shows, I have two signs. I have this sign. Is it backwards to you guys? I should have asked Teresa. It's good? Okay. I have this sign right on the front. Ask me about our Easter basket project. I have a demo Easter basket it's small, so I can put it anywhere on my display. And I also have another sign that says, now available Easter baskets custom filled, because another part of your business can be for the people who want to buy an Easter basket for a child in their life. Lots of grandmas love this service. So they tell me how much they want to spend and what kind of things they like in it. The Easter basket was made for them, and 10 to 25% of the cost of the basket, you can decide, I donate back to my project. All my shows, I usually say 10% because it's nice and easy to figure out. 10% of everything purchased through me at a party from now till I'd say March, and anything directly ordered from me, I will kick back 10% of their purchase into a basket. So it may take several orders to get a full basket made, but $300 worth of stuff, but then that's still more. They know that their purchasing at this kind of off time of year is helping somebody else. So I do that too. And I add that into all my information when I'm out. Okay, research and find your sponsors. This is what I get the most questions on, is who do I ask? How do you get the money? What words do you say? So again, there is in the tips section in that back office files, there is my script of what I usually say. So I don't have to say here, you guys can read it. But the main thing is, if you research who you're calling ahead of time, so you know a little bit more about them, that will put you in much better stead of getting a yes or getting to the right person, because you know what you've cared about them enough to find out. Do they support community stuff? It's usually right on their business page on when you look them up on Google. Do they support local stuff? Are they locally owned? Have they been in business 100 years in your town? Those kind of places, they care about staying relevant and connected to their communities. So a lot of times they're going to be an easy yes. Again, don't wait, because they start getting asked right at the beginning of the year, and so they only pick certain things they're going to give money to. The things that are servicing everybody in your town: automotive places, realtors, service offices like mortgage places, food companies, they all want the community to love them. So they're going to probably entertain a lot more asks of community support, which is what you're doing. The other kind of, so you're obviously wanting cash donations of, straight up money to go towards the toys and books. But if they offer in-kind things, because that's what they have, absolutely, if it fits your needs to fill a basket, you say yes. There are places who will give you the cellophane, the ribbons, the packing inside, the candy. There's in my city, I'm sure there is in every city, and I never really tapped into it until I was in my other job, in my need for wholesale food places. Where does all the little stores get their candy and stuff? They get it from a wholesale supplier in town. That wholesale supplier will give you candy at the cost or free, I get it free, that you can't buy off the shelf in a retail store. So they gave me all of the chocolate bars. Now, it wasn't Pretty Little Eggs, it was Aero bars and Kit Kat bars. But I can tell you, if a child gets a full-size Aero bar in there, they are just as happy as having a couple of foil-wrapped eggs. Grocery stores, too. They will often give you, up to a certain amount in gift cards for the grocery store to go buy the chocolate eggs or what you want. little pixie sticks that are in these kind of things. I think they're a penny each when you buy them at wholesale. Like, you can really do quite a lot with if you got a gift card given to you from those kind of places. If they give you something, and we had one happen a couple years ago, where it was a service that we were like, what are we supposed to do this? It was a crane operating for the day or something like that. He said, we can give you this package that we offer. And so what my rep did was she auctioned it off on her Facebook page. She said, does anybody want this? Does anybody need this? And sure enough, there was a need. And how much do you want to pay for it? It is so much value, and see how much they want to pay for it. And there's a bidding until it was closed. And then she turned that amount of money into a basket or two from the item that was donated. She didn't pay a cent for the item. We had a dentist offer teeth whitening service, a $300 service. And so you could auction it off to anybody in your downline and see who wants to get it, and at a discount, and then you flip that money into baskets. So my takeaway is never say no to anything somebody wants to offer you. Of course, explain to them that the ideal situation is a cash donation, but absolutely we'll take whatever you can give us, and we'll turn it into baskets or toys for these kids. Now, ordering the toys. So you've got all the people, you've got all the money coming in, and you're secured. Then, now the thing about this time of year is I actually invest in at least 50% of what my goal is. I know I'm going to get there. I'm not waiting until the last day to see how much money is in my account that I will now decide what toys I'm going to get. I know I have business with my Discovery Toys company that's going to go into the next quarter. So if I happen to have bought too many Rev and Go fire trucks on sale and didn't need them all, I will definitely have those Rev and Go's to sell at full price at my next event come March. So hopefully you're thinking that way too as a business person. Use the sale and the new products that are coming out and do a significant portion of your order ahead of time. And be that the motivation that you have to get enough sponsors now to cover all the toys you just ordered. I don't know about you, but stuff like that really gets my juices going. And that is incentive enough for me to get on the phone and call 10 more people to see if I can get more baskets filled. So we talked about $575. I can't reiterate enough. A lot of consultants don't understand when you have bigger orders, you get more off the final cost. So please put everything together in as big of order as you can. It's really worthwhile. Oh, the packing paper. When your toys come, this stuff is magic. So you have to save your packing paper. Packing paper fills the bottom of every one of my baskets, and just one sheet of colored tissue paper is what covers that to then put the toys on top of. If I do 150 baskets, there's no way I'm buying 150 bundles of that basket grass, and nobody wants to clean up that stuff anyway. So crumple up 2 pieces of paper that came with all your toys. We get just a ton load usually with an order. Crunch them up, put them in the bottom, cover it with some nice colored tissue paper, which you can get again either with your coupons or your dollar store cards. And then you can put the toys on top of that. It looks fantastic, and you didn't hardly spend any money. And then you're okay. Now you've got all your stuff, all your baskets. It's all in your foyer or your living room. Your husband's going, what is going to happen here? You need to have some help if you're doing a lot of baskets. Use your community resources. There are groups, youth groups, like elementary schools. There is church groups, your ladies group, whatever you can think of. Say we're going to have wine and cheese. We're going to put all the stuff out, and everybody is going to be assembling baskets for an evening until they're all done. I know one of the girls in Winnipeg, she has a whole school do it in the gymnasium, and they just love it. It's probably one of the funnest things they do, and they're part of a bigger project. So if it feels too big for you, make sure you ask for help as part of that. And then I usually deliver the baskets the week just before Easter, because storage for that place is a problem too. You don't want to clutter up their space for too long ahead of time. But of course, when you make arrangements, do that. And like I said, it's the perfect photo op. Making the baskets, make sure you take some pictures, delivering them, make sure you have good photos, because there's nothing better than showing on your Facebook page your cards. What I do is I go through Vistaprint and I save one of the, this was a picture, I usually don't use myself, but they took a picture of me delivering at the shelter, the first shelter I do, surrounded by baskets. So I saved my picture, I went to Vistaprint, I went on to the gift card or greeting card section, and you can fill up not only the inside, which I thank every sponsor that I had, starting with the ones who gave the most at the top and all the way through, but the back is available to put on your business information. I hope you guys can see that. If you don't, I can scan it and post it. I have seen these cards, and I've done them 7 years in a row, stay up on bulletin boards in offices where they've donated year after year after year. So they're not only proud to be a part of it, but they like the looks of it, and people ask about it, and they have them kept in our offices. So I do invest in that as a thank you, but our Facebook page is completely free. So on our Facebook page that you guys can go check it out. It's called Easter Baskets for, the number 4 kids, Easter Baskets for Kids. We tell sponsors who do 300 plus in one contribution to us that their business logo will stay up for 1 full year on our Facebook page as a thank you in the banner ad. And we just add the logos as they come in. We started out saying it was 100 plus that they could get that logo on there. They always get a thank you in the feed, but we had just too many people doing 100 that we couldn't fit them all on. So we've jumped it up to 300, and wouldn't you know it, we got just as many doing 300. So it's what you say, it's what you, if you elevate the goal a bit higher, they will meet it. And if they don't, you can always come down, but you can't go up after you start. So 300 means 10 baskets to most places. So I can say it in either way. And then their logo is up there. So anybody who checks out that website, that Facebook page all year round will see that those people were exceptional gifters to the campaign. See, we're almost at half an hour on that, so I was just going to keep myself to that. The last thing I was going to say was there's many options of getting money for your fundraising project, not just asking businesses and individuals to sponsor. And it's from talking to our field at convention mostly that I've heard all these amazing ideas. One was a pub night. So the pub or the local sports bar sponsored an evening where they did either music bingo or sports trivia or karaoke, something, but all the monies that people normally spend for that went in the pot, and it was a big poster on the wall saying everything you spend tonight and so much off the drinks is going towards the Easter Baskets for Kids campaign tonight. And they did exceptionally well, as you can imagine. Just phone up the pub in the off hours in the afternoon when they're just getting ready, ask to speak to the owner or manager, pitch the idea and see what they think. Malls and public spaces. I think Jennifer Kai's team has done where you set up a table in, say, the front of a grocery store or a strip mall or somewhere where there's lots of traffic, and they allow you to do so with the sign of your project, a big bucket and some sample Easter baskets, and people walking by, you just tell them what you're doing, and if they'd like to chuck in a couple bucks in the bucket for the project, they'd be, really appreciated. That kind of thing. You can have little chocolate eggs on the table as a thank you for everyone who puts a thing in. Be creative. It totally works. It can be just an afternoon or an evening just before dinner time. Elementary school collection drives. Send the hat around, or every classroom challenge each other to take in as much coins as they can for a week. See how much they collect, and all the monies that they bring in will go towards Easter baskets for other kids in the city that usually don't get anything. We have loonies and toonies, dollars and $2 coins, so it can add up pretty big when kids bring in change. So you may want to do a dollar drive there, whatever you think. Church collection too, and like I said, donating auction items. So if you get a company There was one company here it's a hotel chain, and they gave away a weekend stay at their luxurious hotel with the spa, and we collected $500 just because of the auction item. So you never know what you can do, but there's tons of opportunities. And did Eileen make it on? I was going to say, if there's anybody who has some really cool stories, by all means, we'd love to hear about it. Use the EC Share Facebook page to put anything, of course. And I'm always here to answer questions if you feel stuck. I don't want you to feel stuck. There is lots and lots you can do. A lot of people said, I know what the question was. Can I take the item out of the box and put it in because it looks better? Of course you can. The kids want the little box. I think in this one right here, I have the froggy out of the case. A lot of our products, like the baby tower, you can order one, but you have 4 units in there. If you need something for $5 to add in, just put in 1 book each. They don't need to know there's a 4 set. Having one of those books is great. Stuff like, there's going to be a sheet also that Mary's going to add in that has some suggestions of what toys to put in, toys and book combos at each age. And I have even asterisk things that just take them, separate them and put part of each thing, part of boomerangs, part of geoflakes, lots of stuff like that. And if you want to bundle them cute, all the dollar stores have little Easter goodie bags for cheap. And you can put in like a whole bunch of geoflakes with a twist tie and throw it in there. So 1 bucket of geoflakes could probably do 3 or 4 baskets. So just ideas like that too. And I was going to talk about what was in the basket. So that's the last thing I'm going to do. And then we're going to open it up to questions. So of course I try to do almost $30 worth with our toys. And I do try for the younger ages to do a toy and a book, because I think that's a nice combination and it covers all the learning outcomes. My local dentists always donate toothpaste, toothbrushes, and they usually do youth ones, and dental floss. So I don't think you can ever have enough of those, especially when you're going to add some stuff. Like I said, I get donations of chocolates. So there are some treats and usually some sweet things too. These guys, I've seen lots of people use these, so you can put gummies or those little chocolate eggs in them. And the other thing, if I get them, it's really fantastic. Our banks, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of the financial institutions have stuffies. A lot of the sports teams have stuffies with their logos. So if they are willing to be a sponsor as well, and that's what they'd like to give you, it's really cool to be able, especially for the ones that are 5 and under, to have something. We have whales, we have all different things. Lots of sports teams have their own animal logos. So consider that too. But the biggest thing is to have, if they have $30 worth of Discovery toys, they're going to have something that lasts them years and that is helping their brain and their mind and their social outcome of being a kid that much better.
Okay, Lisa, I have a couple questions. That bucket, is that one of the buckets from the dollar store?
Is, yes.
So you to sponsor one of your baskets is $30.
Yes.
And so you've got the $1 for the bucket.
Nope.
Everything else is pretty much donate. Oh, you get that donated?
I get that donated too. My dollar
store donates
$100 gift cards.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
And so $30 worth of Discovery toys. I love it. I love your wording that you use the word sponsor rather than donate. That is fabulous. Now let's see your other basket again, the one that you have wrapped in the cellophane.
Okay.
So that's a true Easter basket.
That's a true Easter basket. It has a book and the froggy and the chocolates. I find because of the handle, well, a lot, you can look through them, but some of the handle has to be big and wide enough for our toys. To be quite honest, our books and toys don't fit in the small ones. I had to go through my stuff and see what actually fit in the small one for my sample. So I don't want to frustrate you by you getting small baskets and you try to jam our big boxes like one of these guys. It's really hard. So do take that into consideration. You can look online for the used stuff too. Lots of people are trying to clear out all their baskets that they've collected over the years. So you can get them for free that way too. But like I said, I do like, IKEA and stuff sells like really inexpensive ones that you can get. And then you can use them again later for their bedroom or their bathroom stuff or whatever they like, their tub toys. So I do like the reusable aspect of it.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
One person got free grocery bags. Do you guys have the reusable, sturdier grocery bags offered at grocery stores now rather than
Yes.
paper? Yes. So one grocery store donated all those free, and the rep just rolled down the sides until they were shorter and put the stuff all in it. So it was nice and sturdy. And then when everything's taken out, they've got a grocery bag too.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Mhm.
Okay. What was my question? Oh, so when people are making their sponsorships to you, checks made payable to you,
Correct.
and do you have any corporations or anybody give you a hard time about that?
No, I have not.
Okay, no challenges there. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, and then you send them you give them their receipt in that little thank you note you send out.
So if I do, unless I'm in person picking up the check, then I'll just hand it to them at that
Perfect.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Eileen wasn't able to.
I was going to say, I do ask that in their check, in the memo line, you know how every check has a memo line, that they put Easter Basket Kit for Kids campaign, so that when they're cashing it or when it comes back to their finance department,
They know what it was.
they know what it was for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Eileen wasn't able to join us because she's got the grandbaby and she's babysitting.
Sweet.
So, but I will tell you what Eileen shared on a call we were on the other day that I thought was such a good point. Her first year, she went to work with a really, really big organization. And the day she worked so hard, and the day that she got there to deliver things, there was a line of people delivering things, and they were just like, just put them over there. And so, she said, I worked so hard, and that was a little frustrating. And they got so much stuff that she said, then after that, she's picked smaller organizations to work with who really appreciate and who she can really personalize and help with. And I hadn't thought about that, but I thought that was a great point to make. Like you said, women's shelters, Ronald McDonald's houses, places that really will appreciate it and maybe aren't going to get taken care of otherwise. I know the first year I did Easter baskets 20 years ago, I picked an orphanage. It was a huge children's home, huge. And the day I showed up to deliver baskets, there were like 5 other cars of people were showing up, delivering all kinds of random baskets, Easter gifts, and all kinds of things. And so I kind of felt the same way. So after that, we started looking for smaller, like foster homes and things to work with. So that's just something to think about. Okay, Mary, do we have questions on here?
Yeah, I don't see, yeah, if you guys want to, I'll go ahead and go through everything, but go ahead. If you guys got questions for Lisa, now is the time to go ahead and type them into chat. Lauren had said, send your packing paper through the shredding machine. That's fabulous. You got all that, paper, we'd be able to use that as well. Let's see. Sandy had said, I live in a small area and I don't have many charities to donate to. And somebody, let me scroll down. It said, Kathy had said, a small town close to her has a backpack project where kids get a backpack each week with food for the weekend. And that was her project last year and will be again this year. So just something, to think about for other people. Bonnie says, check if there's pregnancy care centers in your area. That's another one to think about.
And I'll tell you, we work with children who are in foster programs or foster care homes. But the other thing is, we collected enough money the last 2 years that we had a lot of overage. We had more baskets than we needed. And there's a food bank in our area. And when those people come in, they come in on a Saturday before Easter to get their food donations. We gave the Easter baskets to them, and they called me the past 2 years and said, we are so thrilled to have these, because when they came in, those that had kids, it was so nice to be able to give them an Easter basket for their children. And we put a little sticker on the outside of our cellophane bags that'll say like 2+, 3+, 4+, so they know, 8+ if it's for an older kid, so they can, because they can't tell looking in the basket what it is, and that clues them into what age that would work for. Okay, anybody else have questions for Lisa?
Let's see. Carolyn McFarland said, or Linda says, when she's collected at grocery stores, she's even used the Square to take $1 to $20 donations. So, so anybody else have questions, comments before we wrap up today? I just wanted to say for those of you guys, Monica just said, do you ask for check or cash donations?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my things that I wanted to remind everybody, this Friday, Toy Chatter with Jim Garber, he's going to be going over the new Easter basket items. So, and that is going to be our training video. So if you guys can be on live, great. If not, I'll be posting that later in the day. So you guys will know very soon about all the Easter basket specials that we'll have. Let's see, what else? And I know, like Lisa had said, that they will be starting shortly. I don't have the exact date, but it will be before the end of the sale. Robin had said, should we have the money go to our personal bank account? Lisa?
That's up to you. I do. If you have your Discovery Toys business on a separate account, use that one. But it has to be accessible for you to then put on your credit card so you can pay for your order. You can't have a third party in that way. If you're dealing, the only time I had one rep who had a place that was doing tax receipts for them. So the sponsor person had to make the check payable to that group, that org, who then wrote the tax receipt, and then that org paid the consultant to order the toys. So that was the roundabout way to do it. It's never happened to me, so I never had to deal with that. People are just happy and trusting. So, and because we have all the follow-up and the thank yous and the public, awareness, the corporations or the people that are giving you the money don't feel like it's some fraudulent thing or anything like that. And of course, all the place you're dealing, I don't think I mentioned it, but it's in my notes. If you have partnered, say, with Ronald McDonald House or a transition house or a homeless shelter, they quite often will allow you to use their logo or their typeset or the top of their business information and say, we have partnered with Lisa Wu Discovery Toys for this project, happily have our blessing kind of thing. So you can always ask for that too if you want some legitimacy on your paperwork.
And I think, let's see what else is here. Lauren had said, would our receipt be our actual tax receipt? And I know Jennifer had said, no, the charity does the tax receipt.
Right. Yeah.
So that is correct.
Yeah. Ours is just an acknowledgement of getting the money from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any other last minute questions before we wrap up tonight's session, guys?
Lisa, you were fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all your wealth of wisdom and information. And no wonder you're so successful every year, you and your team, with your Easter basket project. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Share this recording when Mary gets it up with your team members.
Absolutely. And we'll have the documents posted tomorrow. So have a great night, everyone. We will talk to you on EC Share. Have a great day or night. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.